Okay, this is going to be a tutorial for teaching how to basically put a 3-day training template together. To start, I think the first thing we need to do before we even get a training program going is to set up a roster page. To do that, we can either use the first tab or to create a new tab. Click the plus sign, new tab. It should be called Sheet 2, so you can double click on Sheet 1 or you can double click on Sheet 2, it doesn't matter, and turn it into roster. We already have a roster page, so I'm not going to do that. Okay. I'm actually going to delete this because I don't need it. So going over to our roster tab, don't worry about the colors, it's just easier for me to see. Zooming out. Does not need to be super fancy right now. We'll keep it very basic. One thing I do want to keep in mind, there's a couple different ways to look at the screen. There's the normal view. There's page layout down here in the bottom right. I don't recommend that one. But I use page break preview quite often. We'll get to that later on. So for now, normal view. A1, I'm going to put name, and for this example, for our roster page, let's say that we want to keep track of somebody's clean, squat, bench press. Obviously, you can change these out as need be. You could put different exercises in. You could put other things that you want to track. By all means, go for it. Again, this is going to be the simplest 3-day template possible. One thing to keep in mind is that when you type in something like clean, make sure you don't hit any extra spaces, because that will cause problems down the line. It will look for the word clean space instead of clean. So we have our clean, squat, and bench. And then for names, we'll go with the big 3 here. And then we can put some random numbers in. Charlie is needs some work. But then we'll come back in here. We got a 40-pound squat, and we got a 500-pound bench, and we got a 250 squat, we got 300 clean. Great. And if we've done all that correctly, we've set up our roster page. That's going to be super helpful for everything moving forward. So from now, we are going to click new sheet, and it will be Sheet 2. And what we'll do with Sheet 2 is we'll double click it, and you can call it, summer 2020 in this case. You could call it weeks 1, 2, 3. You could call it 3-day template, whatever you want to name it, however you want to name it, by all means, it's up to you. So that's our first part, setting up a roster page and setting up our tab to get our training program going.